Coming on OC News, we have an exclusive interview with Jason Shepard, new chair of the Department of Communications here at Cal State Fullerton.
Also, we have the scoop on the Dia de los Muertos celebration that's taking place right here in the Cal State Fullerton Quad. OC News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Ruby Gonzalez.
And I'm Sofia Guerrero. UC Irvine officials say they are prepared just in case we have a case of Ebola here in the OC. On Monday night, UC Irvine had an informative panel to help educate students on how serious Ebola is. No need to panic though, the experts laid down the science, politics, and economics of Ebola yesterday morning. Orange County health officials informed us that 2 OC residents who have recently traveled to West Africa are now under surveillance for the disease. But not to worry, the residents will be under careful watch for the next 21 days. They'll be reporting their temperature twice a day and have routine home visits by health officials.
Huntington Beach Police arrested off-duty LAPD officer Ryan Gallagher of Huntington Beach for exposing himself near the wetlands at the dead end of Bolsa Chica. Police said the witnessed incident along the open pathway on October 23rd around 7:30 a.m. There were no other reported witnesses. Huntington Beach Police do not release the information immediately because of the follow-ups of previous reports. The Orange County District Attorney's Office has not yet concluded any additional charges will be filed against Gallagher. The LAPD placed Gallagher on administrative leave.
Cal State Fullerton is amping up students for Dia de los Muertos with a celebration on campus today. We go to Christina Razban, who has more on the festivities.
At Cal State Fullerton, Dia de los Muertos is celebrated among students on campus. Students deconstruct the idea that this is not just a Halloween event, but a day that celebrates the lives of past loved ones.
It's a mix of indigenous and modern Mexican traditions that dates back to ancient times, where we celebrate the passing of our loved ones and just celebrate the life as well.
Come on out to CSUF today until 7 p.m. to view the altar, listen to music, and get a taste of this festive experience. For OC News, I'm Christina Razban.
Students know him as a calm law professor, but he has been up to a lot more than that. Maria Zamudio had an opportunity to sit down with CSUF's very own Jason Shepard.
Dr. Shepard, thank you so much for stopping by to talk to us and answer a couple of questions. First of all, congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
We're all excited to see the new changes that are coming to communications. Last semester I had the chance to take you for communication law, where we discussed a lot of First Amendment issues. But right now we want to talk more about your new position as chair of the Department of Communications. How are you transitioning from full-time teaching to doing more administrative work?
It's been a good transition for me. It's been a very fast and busy transition. I was elected as chair of the department in the spring, and so I've spent the spring and summer getting myself prepared for the position. But it's been a great role so far. We're the second largest department on campus with more than 2,200 students, and we have 70 full-time and part-time faculty members. So I've been trying to listen to both students and faculty and get a sense of where we want to move forward as a department. So it's been really busy, but so far so good.
So I know you interact a lot with faculty. Now, are there changes that students will notice?
I don't think that there will be major changes right away that students will notice. We've got a very veteran faculty who work really hard every day, care a lot about making sure students are getting a good, high-quality education, and we've got lots of student clubs, lots of organizations, and so part of my job is just making sure that things are running smoothly and that faculty and students are supported from the university.
It's very nice. There are many changes coming to the communications discipline. We see this with the adaptation of new technologies and the need for more fast and reliable news. What type of changes do you notice happening, and how can students prepare for these changes as they go out in the workforce?
Yeah, I mean, our professions are changing so fast that it's hard for us to keep up to date with a lot of the changes. But that's one of our jobs. One of our primary responsibilities is to make sure that we as faculty are at the cutting edge of the professions so that we're able to prepare the students as best as we can for, not only the jobs of today, but the jobs of the future. And so, we've got a lot of part-time faculty who are working professionals right now in the field, who every day are experiencing the changes in our profession. And then a lot of our full-time faculty are attending conferences and workshops and conducting research and making sure that they're at the forefront of the industry changes. A couple of examples. Our student media has been, we've been integrating our student media, we've been upgrading our studios, our student newspaper has been winning almost 24 awards in the past year for their sort of converged student-run news organization. Our Practical Advantage student advertising and public relations agency has in the past couple of years had more than 60 clients that they've been developing integrated advertising and strategic communications campaigns in ways that the industry is going towards. So we're not anymore, or we're trying to get away from these boxes or silos of just having a student concentrate on advertising principles and concepts, but really exposing them to the ways that our professions are becoming more integrated. And social media is so ingrained in a lot of where the future professions are going. And so we've got to make sure that our students are getting trained in the theories and the concepts and the practices that are going to be relevant for the professions once they graduate.
And actually, Cal State Fullerton has the largest College of Communications in the country. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's great. We've got so many opportunities right in our backyard. We are in the second largest media market in the nation. We've got one of the most highly qualified and diverse faculty and students. Our university graduates more Hispanic students than almost any other university, and our department graduates more Hispanic students than almost any other university. So we've got programs that I think could be stacked against any university in the country, from a number of areas in our entertainment and tourism concentration, and our journalism and news field, and advertising and public relations. We've just launched a new certificate in digital media production that's going to give students even more opportunities to develop a whole range of web design and production skills. So, and we've got a high quality internship program, 400 internship sites every semester that are teaching our students real practical and professional skills. So we've got a lot to celebrate in the Department of Communications.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. That's definitely one of the reasons why I chose Cal State Fullerton. Being Latino, I also wanted to go to one of the best universities with College of Communications. What would you tell students that are trying to come into Cal State Fullerton? What do you think is the best thing for them?
Well, I think Cal State Fullerton, we've got 38,000 students across this university, and our new university president is committed to making sure that we are sort of the best at what we do, making sure that we are this comprehensive model public university. So I would urge students to take full advantage of the college experience that you can get here at Cal State Fullerton, and know that you are in very good hands here.
Thank you. Definitely a great tip. So you have a book that is currently out, Privileging the Press, that dives into journalism, ethics, and the protection of confidential sources. What inspired you to write that book and kind of take that route with that topic?
Well, my book stemmed from really initially my own work as a journalist. I was a journalist for 10 years. I covered lots and lots of different beats, but I loved working on investigative projects and projects that were of really public importance, sensitive issues, sensitive topics. And I learned sort of firsthand, being a journalist, that it was important to develop relationships with sources to get highly sensitive information. And so when I decided to go to graduate school and get my PhD, I decided that one of my areas of research would be on the role of confidential sources in journalism, and how the law does and does not give journalists protections when it comes to prosecutors or police wanting to get access to journalists' sources. And so, I spent many years talking to journalists who've been threatened with jail, talking to prosecutors and media lawyers about the role of both ethics and law in quality journalism for the public good. And so that sort of led me to a number of research projects that resulted in my book, which really sort of tells the story of the history of journalism and journalists' need to protect confidential sources.
Absolutely. Is there any course on campus that is currently utilizing your book?
Communications law. We use the book to talk about and illustrate some of the examples of journalists both having ethical dilemmas of when to protect confidential sources and when to not use anonymous sources, but also from the legal perspective of what protections are in place for journalists. And here in California, journalists are protected by the California Constitution, which gives journalists rights to avoid subpoenas and revealing confidential sources. But that's not the case in other jurisdictions. And so it's important for people going into journalism, especially investigative journalism and public affairs journalism, to make sure that they understand that the law is not always on their side when it comes to protecting confidential sources.
That's very interesting. I do want to thank you so much for coming in today to OC News and giving us a little bit more insight as far as what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This wraps it up, and we're going back to you in the studio.
A former Cal State Fullerton student has made a name for himself with the new t-shirt company. We go to Steve Granado, who had a chance to speak with Sam Brown of Bring Hockey Back.
This is a t-shirt company, like any other. You got your designs, shirts, and paints, but this company is a little different. Based out of Temecula, California, in a small warehouse called SoCal Inc., Bring Hockey Back started in 2012 in light of the NHL lockout. For this former Cal State Fullerton Titan, his small idea got bigger than he could ever imagine.
I fell asleep one night, woke up, I knew how severe the NHL lockout was going to be that year, and I kind of came up with this idea, maybe we could just make a shirt that said, Bring Hockey Back, make a statement, and get the fans to support.
And boy, did they ever get the fan support. Bring Hockey Back started with this simple Instagram post. Within a few hours, the first shirt was sold. Today, Bring Hockey Back is being worn coast to coast, and even north of the border in Canada. The warehouse is filled with empty boxes of past orders. But BHB is not only about making money.
We're really big on trying to support nonprofit groups, mainly ones that deal with hockey-related issues. So a couple months back, last season, Rich Peverly ended up collapsing on the bench due to a heart problem. So we wanted to pair up and partner with American Heart Association out of Dallas. So we ended up making a shirt called Dallas Hockey All Heart, and we sold so many of them and ended up being able to raise $3,000 for American Heart Association for Dallas.
This small idea now takes an average of 300 orders a week, usually more. They started with Southern California roots with the Kings and Ducks, but have since branched out to all NHL clubs and old hockey movie references, as well as casual streetwear for hockey players. Each shirt takes around 1 minute to make, and they are produced nearly every day. But if you ask Sam Brown, this is only the beginning of his new life.
Yeah, I'd like to have my own warehouse one day, be able to be in stores maybe across the world, be sold in arenas across the country and to Canada too, and have players, more NHL players wear it, so that would be the ultimate goal.
From Temecula, Steve Granado, OC.
Fresh food, live entertainment, and fun for everyone can be found here in Fullerton. Reporter Brooke Pinkston has all the details you need to know about the Fullerton market.
Farm fresh produce, flowers, fresh baked bread, and live entertainment can all be found at Fullerton's Market.
We've been every day, every Thursday this summer to listen to the different bands, but then the baked potato is our second. Every week it's baked potato with corn on it.
Located in the downtown plaza on Wilshire, the market is free and has arts and crafts activities for the kids and an outdoor beer garden for the adults.
In addition to traditional favorites, new vendors are added each week to keep things fresh and exciting. The Fullerton Market gives an opportunity for local farmers, merchants, and nonprofit organizations to offer their one-of-a-kind products and services to the community.
We have two farms. There's one in Chino and then there's one in Santa Maria. We're selling vegetables. We have a little bit of fruit, usually strawberries and different types of berries, but mostly vegetables. Right now we're starting with our fall crops, like all of the winter squash and a lot of the root vegetables. This market is really nice. It is seasonal. So we go away for 6 months, and after 6 months I kind of miss it, and we come back and, you know, we get all our usual customers, and over the years they've become like friends. And I think we've done this market, I want to say about 13 years or so.
The market runs from 4 p.m. to 8:30 on Thursdays, and musical entertainment starts at 6:30 with new acts every week.
The Fullerton Market runs until next Thursday, which will be a spooktacular event called Oktoberfest, welcoming everybody in their Halloween costumes to trick-or-treat at vendors. For OC News, I'm Brooke Pinkston.
A nurse who was once treating the deadly disease of Ebola in Africa was quarantined in Maine. Casey Hickox was treated as if she had the disease but was recently released. CNN's Alexandra Field has a story.
Until hours ago, Casey Hickox was under quarantine in less than great conditions. Her toilet, her sink, her room, thanks to the New Jersey governor, not what she was hoping for after retiring from a tough assignment in West Africa. She described her conditions to CNN.
It's just a basic tent structure. There's a hospital bed, obviously, to bring me food. I have kind of a porta potty type restroom, no shower facilities, and no connection with the outside world except my iPhone.
Hickox spent a month working with Ebola patients in hard-hit Sierra Leone, where nearly 1,300 people have died. After that, she was held in this tent at Newark University's hospital after registering a fever, a reading she disputes.
I truly believe that it was an instrument error. They were using the forehead scanner, and I was obviously distressed and a bit upset, and so my cheeks were flushed, and I think there has been some evidence that that machine is not very accurate in these kind of situations.
New Jersey's governor insists she had a high temperature.
My heart goes out to her because she's someone who's been trying to help others and is obviously ill.
He says she was showing possible symptoms of Ebola. Hickox took direct aim at that claim.
You know, the first thing I would say to Governor Christie is that I wish that he would be more careful about his statements related to my medical condition. I am not, as he said, quote, unquote, obviously ill. I am completely healthy and with no symptoms. I understand that people feel like they have a risk, and I think we can have a conversation about what further measures might look like. But I think this is an extreme that is really unacceptable, and I feel like my basic human rights have been violated.
Coming up, we have the weekend forecast with Maria Zamudio, who will let you know what weather to expect for Halloween.
And we will have more on the Friendship Games that featured over 40 Filipino-American student organizations from California competing for some serious titles.
The men's rugby team hopes to make a statement.
This study abroad program includes a 4-day trip to Rome.
Welcome to Cal State Fullerton Report.
OC News starts right now.
With President Obama.
October is coming to an end and fall is in full effect, and Halloween is days away. What are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm actually going to be Frankenstein's bride with like a rockabilly feel to it. What are you going to be? Have you thought of it?
It's top secret. I can't say.
Okay.
But here's Maria Zamudio with this week's forecast.
Good day, everybody. Well, let's start off with some good news. Daylight savings time is finally here, and it ends November 2nd at 2 a.m. So don't forget to change your clocks back and give yourself an extra hour to sleep, because I know I will take advantage of that time to sleep in. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Today will be the warmest day of the week. And as you can see, going into the weekend, it looks like it's going to start getting a little cloudy. so don't forget to get your umbrellas. And let's take a look at today's forecast. It's going to be at 84 with the low 60s, and the wind is going to be 5 miles per hour with a humidity of 40. Let's go and take a look at our national forecast. Let's take a look at San Antonio. It will be at its 60s, and going up to New York, it will be at its 40s. Going over to Chicago, it looks like it's going to be a little chilly, low 30s. Now, let's get ready for Halloween, because that's actually what we've been waiting for. Halloween night. During the day, it's actually going to be nice and clear. So for those of you having a parade, you will get to enjoy it. You will be wearing your costumes and look very nice. During the night, actually, it will be a little chilly, so don't forget to bring a nice sweater and be safe out there and have a spooky
This past
Friday.
weekend was the Life is Beautiful festival in downtown Las Vegas. More than 90,000 people attended a 3-day festival. The festival included artists Lionel Richie, Arctic Monkeys, the return of Las Vegas Foo Fighters performing their songs from their upcoming album, Sonic Highways. This is the biggest festival to date.
A celebration of Filipino culture brought thousands of college students to Cal State Fullerton campus this past Saturday. Steve Ganado has a story.
41 West Coast schools and over 6,000 college students showed up to Cal State Fullerton this past Saturday for the annual Friendship Games, hosted by the CSUF Filipino American Student Association, also known as PASA Kaibigan. The games, beginning in 1985, promote Filipino culture through picnic-style games, authentic cuisine, and dance routines. But the main priority for the last 29 years has always been friendship.
So Friendship Games started in 1985, and originally it's supposed to be for all the internal clubs here, but then expand to a whole bunch of Filipino clubs in other campuses. And usually we play like picnic games. As you can see, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people. Friendship Games is also one of the biggest like Filipino events in the nation.
This event is great because as a group, everyone bonds and the chemistry builds up. And when you're cheering with your friends, like this guy we're cheering was going crazy, going buck wild, and want a team to win so bad, but you know, friendship, that's all that matters, is friendship.
Me personally, it's my 4th year here at Friendship Games, and I go every year because I just love the atmosphere, all of the spirit battles, and like how friendly everyone is here. I mean, we get so close to these schools that are like miles and thousands of miles away from us.
Every school in attendance showed their pride through various unique chants and routines. CSUF PASA has been planning this event for nearly a year, beginning last December. It seems as though their hard work created a positive and welcoming atmosphere.
It's definitely been refreshing here at Cal State Fullerton's Friendship Games, seeing thousands of college students taking pride in their culture, taking pride in each other, and spreading friendship throughout the West Coast. For OC News in Cal State Fullerton, I'm Steve Granado.
Next, Alexandria Hernandez will tell you how to keep your figure with all of that sugary temptations around from upcoming holidays.
And don't sleep on this. Kimberly Flores takes us to check out the new napping devices here at Cal State Fullerton.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It fosters a sense of yearning to create, explore, and soar. It strengthens our will to climb to the top. It's the bedrock of our conviction that nothing's impossible. It transforms us and sets us free to thrive and build lives of purpose. Titan Pride is at the heart of who we are.
NASA is still investigating the failed rocket launch off the coast of Virginia. Brian Hermosissimo covers this and more topics on Tech News.
Thanks a lot, you guys. A catastrophic failure at NASA launch led to a fiery end of a NASA-contracted mission to bring the supplies to the International Space Station. Mary Mueller has the details.
2, 1.
The unmanned Antares rocket lifted off from Wallops Island, Virginia shortly before 6:30 Tuesday evening. Seconds later,
Got main engines at 108%.
an explosion brought that mission to a halt as the rocket hurtled back toward the ground. Chris Tolton was watching the launch from across the bay.
The launch initially seemed to go okay, but within a few seconds I noticed that the top of the top cone of the rocket started leaning to the left, and in other words, leaning to the north a little bit.
Something went wrong, and we will find out what that is. We will determine the root cause, and we will correct that, and we will come back and fly here at Wallops again.
The rocket constructed by Orbital Science Corp was headed to the International Space Station, carrying the Cygnus spacecraft with some 5,000 pounds of supplies and experiments.
This is an accident site, and it is a rocket. And
Well, the upside to that is that it became a huge fireworks show. Is that too soon? Nah, because nobody got hurt during the launch. But on a brighter note, a windowless airplane? What? With the exception of the cockpit, I would assume. But evidently, everyone has a window seat, and yet there are no windows. So if you love window seats, this could be a great thing for you. But if not, this concept plane from CPI, the Center of Process Innovations, lines the cabins with curved high-definition screens. Cameras mounted on the aircraft's exterior then pipe in video that make it look like the walls are see-through. And it's not just an eye-blogging gimmick. By doing away with regular windows, which require reinforcement in the fuselage, the airplane's walls can be made thinner, stronger, and more lightweight. In transport, any kind of reduction can translate to fuel saving and ultimately maybe even cheaper ticket prices. Now there's a view worth seeing. Another cool feature is if you don't like your view, you can change it by choosing from a menu of pre-recorded images. That way, if you lose a wing or your engine catches fire, you can change the image to something more appealing, visually, that is. Apple MacBook Pro has a problem, and thousands of people aren't happy with them. More than 20,000 have signed an online petition asking the company to replace the 2011 model MacBook Pros. Users claim they frequently freeze and crash. The problem appears to relate to the computer's graphic processing unit. So far, no official response from the Apple. But here's something you can try in the meantime. Stop watching those things you shouldn't be watching on your MacBook. Just a suggestion. Also, OK Go's new music video, a new music video by the American band OK Go, has gone viral. The band's famous for their videos with optical illusions and domino effects. With their new video, is one shot, it's done in one take, using a crazy expensive specialized camera carrying drone and a Segway-like vehicle called Unicubs made by Honda. CNN's Will Ripley got a closer look at its creative process.
Would you believe this nondescript Tokyo building is home to the creative mind of one of the hottest viral music videos around, and we're going to get a look inside his studio. This is Japanese director Morihiro Harano. He's friends with the American group OK Go. Those are the guys that use treadmills, dominoes, and other optical illusions in their other videos. But in this new one, which they shot right here in Japan, they use drones, and they use these new Segway-like Honda vehicles called Unicubs. Take a look.
Emily's got them tricks to try, but she don't seem that much to mind. She don't seem to mind that much to me.
This video already has millions of views, and the number keeps rising. And would you believe, it's essentially one continuous shot. They did 44 takes. They completed the whole thing 11 times, and out of those 11, they found 3 takes that they thought were okay, and the one that you see on YouTube is what they consider their best take. Filming took place over 4 days. It was actually raining a lot of the time, so that extended the time period of shooting. This is after they rehearsed for a full month. The final take, we're told, happened around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and you see 2,400 people doing a really cool flip card type maneuver as the drone keeps rising. The director actually says this is his favorite part. Here's why. The end is my favorite, he says, because the drone flies up 700 meters, about a half a mile, and the music just stops. You see that huge crowd. He says, this is my first music video, and I wanted...
Honda, I want one of those Segways for getting around campus. So how do I get my hands on one? Well, that about wraps it up for me with your tech segment. Back to you guys in the studio.
Cal State Fullerton students had a chance to take quick naps today as nap pods were introduced on the Titan Walk. Here's the story.
Hey guys, we're here at Cal State Fullerton Student Recreation Center, and as you can see behind me, I have this weird looking white pod looking thing where you can actually come and take a nap. Now these pods actually cost about $8,000 and they have them at Google headquarters and at the Huffington Post. A lot of students have been walking by and they're kind of checking it out, kind of having mixed feelings about it. So why don't you tweet us on @OC CSUF and let us know what you think. I'm Christina Rasban, back to you guys in the studio.
Looks like coffee could actually be beneficial for your hair. Could there be a link between caffeine and hair growth? Here's Alexandria Hernandez with the details.
Mixed feelings about it. So why don't you tweet us on @OC CSUF and let us know what you think. I'm Christina Rasban, back to you guys in the studio.
Looks like coffee could actually be beneficial for your hair. Could there be a link between caffeine and hair growth? Here's Alexandria Hernandez with the details.
Rapidly approaching, we all know what it's like to have the inconvenient illness show face during the busiest week at work or hardest times in school. So here are some actions the CDC says you can take to prevent the flu bug from getting you. One, which is believed to be the single best way to fight the flu, get vaccinated. Contact your primary doctor or visit your pharmacy to learn more. Two, be sure to wash your hands frequently or lather up some antibacterial hand rub when soap and water isn't around. And three, practice healthy habits such as drinking a balanced diet, drinking plenty of liquids, exercising regularly, and allowing your body to get the rest you need. The CDC says that following these guidelines is a chance to potentially eliminate your chances of getting the bug, and in some cases, have it pass you up completely. For more information on the disease, visit the Center for Disease Control and Prevention at www.cdc.org. Now, we've all had those mornings where getting up to start your day is nearly impossible. So what do? Race for that cup of coffee. But what if I told you that racing for the cup of coffee also means speeding up hair growth? Ladies, and I'm sure there are some men out there, I've got a tip that you'll want to hear. Health.com says that not only will coffee leave your hair feeling silky smooth, but when massaged directly into your scalp, the caffeine in coffee can stimulate hair follicles just right. So, how do you go about this? Here it is. Brew a pot of coffee, make sure it's strong, then add half of a cup of water. Let it cool, and once it's lukewarm, go ahead and get started. Getting in the shower, pour the liquid into your hair and scalp, then wrap it into a plastic towel. Sit for 20 minutes, wash it out with warm water, and voila. If you're as bold as you like your coffee, try it out and let us know how it works. Long walk to be in your future. With Halloween being just around the corner, it seems as though every single one of our cities has become food. But how do you fight the temptation of being on your healthy journey? I've got a few ideas for you. First, what's the spicy ingredients in taste like mine, right? Such as pumpkin pie, pumpkin donuts, or even pumpkin lattes for the baristas out there. But spicier is like passion and healthy meal like pumpkin nuts. Remember that the summer god that you worked so hard for wants to stay around you for a little bit longer. Next, it'll be easy to skip out on your Friday workout with the festivities of Halloween. But call it a easy day and a tasty workout with some cardio today. Trick-or-treating around the neighborhood will add steps to your pedometer and get that heart rate up. After all, we all know that the faster you get from house to house, the more chance you get. And lastly, be sure to buy candy that you yourself aren't too fond of.
Next, stay cheese because we are taking a deeper look into the world of selfies. Who takes the most selfies, men or women? Find out when we return.
And Colin Yee will have everything you need to know about sports from the NBA to MLB, only here on OC News.
Titan TV is a student-operated facility maintained by students.
It's on the Cal State Fullerton campus, and it's a great opportunity for Cal State Fullerton students to get hands-on experience directly in a studio environment.
Working with Titan TV puts me in this professional environment. Everyone here is really fun to work with, and everyone just gets along so well. I'm having a great time.
Coligny has everything you need to know about Titan sports, the World Series, and the first day of the NABA season.
It's really fun to work with, and everyone just gets along so well. I'm having a great time.
Coligny has everything you need to know about Titan sports, the World Series, and the first day of the NABA season.
Games. The Giants and the Royals in the Fall Classic. The first glimpse of Titan soccer found their way. Double overtime game for the men's soccer team. They come on the Riverside. Island steps in. This goal of the year. Titans did not back down. They scored 7 minutes later in the 22nd minute. Sima scored his 4th goal. The team did not score up. We're first going to see the start of an offensive showdown. So one of the points for both and the game ended with a tie double overtime. 4 shots and goal for the Titans, 3 shots and goal for the Highlanders. Not much for at home shots. The Titans lose 8-53 overall and 3-3-1 in conference play. And now with only 3 games left in the season, the Big West Premier, the next game for the Titans might be the biggest game of the season. But nationally ranked for UC Irvine. Titans and Engines are tied atop the Big West South Bend. Someone soccer looks to focus on the Big West Premier as they face the Riverside and Queens. Rebecca Wilson scored her 10th goal of the season to bring the Titans up 1-0. That would be all the Titans do. The Highlanders only have 1 shot and goal, which was a stop by Justin Stewart. He scored his 3rd shutout of the year. Blake has moved 6-7-4 overall and stayed undefeated in the offensive scoring. Titans in their own hands with 2 games left in the season. Playing Big West Premier Season Championship Titans and Bargain outball. Fresh off a dominant performance in Game 5 of Madison Bumgarner, the Giants look to take the series in Game 6 in Kansas City. But the Royals had a different agenda as they jumped all over the
Later in the inning, Nori Aoki's first hit of the series knocks out Peavy and makes it 2-0. Yusmiro Petit in. Lorenzo Kane greets him with a 2-run single, 4-0 KC. Later in the inning, now a 6-0 game. Billy Butler digs in.
Line right center field.
Now
pitching for his friend Austin Garrett.
The St. Louis Cardinal outfielder was recently killed in a car accident. He did not take the court. Mr. has 3 hits, 7 innings, striking out 4, and Royals pitcher Eric Hosmer continues to increase this season. Scored 2 RBI. Hosmer 377 this course, 6 extra base hits, and 12 RBI. Game 7 takes all winner take all between the Giants and the Royals has just started. The Giants are currently up 1-0. Randy Guthrie is showing up for the Royals. Guthrie on the Giants for 2 runs in 5 innings in the game and an injury history. The Giants counted Tim Hudson. Hudson will be the oldest pitcher to pitch in a Game 7 in 39 years and 170 days. Pitching ball is deep. The Royals are looking good. The home team is one of the last 7-9 Game 7 dating back to 1982. The last time the road team won was in 1979 with the PR family pitching Pirates beat Baltimore. The last time the big team lost Game 7, won Game 7, lost Game 6, won Game 7. 1975. Now, while the biggest game in baseball is being played tonight, the NBA season is just getting started. Los Angeles played the Pistons court yesterday in the highly anticipated return of Kobe Bryant. The Lakers will face the Houston Rockets at Staples Center. That was the Lakers and Dwight Howard continuing. He was continuously just tired. Now, Howard and Kobe also got into a little confrontation in the game. Kobe caught elbow from Howard. Both players need to be separated from each other. And on the telecast, Kobe was calling Dwight soft. Now, beyond all the drama, the Rockets dismantled the Lakers 108 tonight. James Harden
The selfie craze has taken over social media. Cassandra Zavala has the story.
Have I taken selfies in the past? Yes. They do the duck face like that, or the Zoolander.
Probably the tilted face. Just kind of go like that.
I probably tilt my head a little, but then I just smile.
Pursed lips, like dumb or something.
Probably girls.
Females.
Obviously girls though.
I think girls, like you kind of just see them discreetly do certain things, like take secret pictures of themselves, like in class. Like, I mean, I've done it sometimes.
So if you still don't know how to take a proper selfie, it's very, very easy. All you have to do is take your phone or your camera. I have my phone here. I'm going to swipe it so I can get my camera. So now my phone here has two lenses. I'm going to use the lens that I can see myself on the screen. Fix my glasses there. Now I'm just going to align this to my face. You can see the background, you can see the microphone, and we're just going to snap.
What is your opinion about taking selfies?
Well, I mean, I don't have any problem with taking selfies. I feel like, why should I be ashamed about putting a picture of my face? Like, if I look good, then I'm going to post it and say, I look good. Like, I don't really put quotes, like song quotes on it or anything.
Right.
I just kind of say, you know what, rocking this red lipstick today or something like that.
Right, I know, because a lot of people think it's a really vain thing to do, you know, take a picture of yourself.
I don't think so. I think it shows confidence. You know what we should do? Take a picture right now.
Okay.
Selfie. Okay.
Luckily, I have my phone, so.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Selfie.
Perfect. Now you can put it on your social media.
Speaking of social media,
we should put it on maybe OC News, CSUF.
Yeah.
So go ahead and put all of your, check us out on OC News, CSUF. So that's at OC News, CSUF, and like us on Facebook as well.
That's all we have for you here today at OC News. I'm Ruby Gonzalez.
And I'm Sofia Guerrero. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening and a safe Halloween.